surveys we've done in recent months, or even over the last year, you always see the same type of errors. You see the same type of errors when it comes to the installation. And a lot of it also is because there wasn't a design to follow in the first place. Hi guys, welcome to AsherGad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Trust you're all doing well, wherever you are on the four corners of this planet, making your gradual plans and your dreams to become true on the lovely continent that is Africa. So here we are again, it's another Tuesday, 6 p.m. GMT, and we have a very brief topic to deliver to you today, but a very important one as it is. Love to all our subscribers for your comments, donations, and everything you do. Much appreciated, especially our PayPal and Patreon families respectively also. All right, so here we are. What's today's video? Today's video is a brief one, and I just want to bring to the awareness, or more of the awareness of electrical design, the electrical designs that we do here in AsherGad, how we've been satisfying our clients with our various electrical designs for their homes. So that's what I really want to talk about, and hopefully it won't be too long. All right. So basically, how this came about is, obviously we've been doing this for a while now, and we do electrical designs, be it whether it's the infrastructure design, which I'll describe in a minute, or the fit out design. We do all of it. You know, and we do site inspections for installations that have already been done, and the client wants to make sure that everything is correct. We do our own installations, you know, recommended tradespeople that we have, and much other things as well. Now, we've been the number of surveys we've done in recent months, or even over the last year. You always see the same type of errors. You see the same type of errors when it comes to the installation, and a lot of it also is because there wasn't a design to follow in the first place. There wasn't a design to follow in the first place. You know, we see lots of issues, typical issues. You go to a home and there's no RCD installed, and you know the earthing system in Ghana is a TT system. RCD is a must. It's regulation. It's a must. You must have an RCD to protect you against electric shock. You and humans and animals against electric shock is a must. But loads of homes you go and it's not been installed. It wasn't in the design to start with, if there was a design. Because if there was a design, then at least you could tell the electrician on day one, this is my design, this is what I want. So this is important. And you always design before you construct. You don't design whilst you're constructing. You know, that's the idea, is you design, then construct. That is the procedure when it comes to building. Obviously, if you're already down the track constructing, yes, of course, we can do the design and see how we can fit it into your existing building. But ideally, if you're at a place where you're starting, you've got your architectural layout, sort out your designs at the same time when you finish the architectural layouts. Okay, so back to what we've been seeing in homes over the years, lack of RCD. Sometimes you go to a home, this is typical as well, you go to a home and there's a distribution board, a 12-way, let's say even an 8-way, 3-phase distribution board, and you open it and it's completely full. It's completely full to the extent that some of the breakers have been doubled up or tripled up in the wiring onto one breaker, which in some cases is a fire risk. Yeah. In some cases, it is a fire risk. You want to have one circuit per MCB wherever you can. We see this all the time, and it's not good. Here's another example. We went to a beautiful hotel that one of our clients is constructing in Kumasi about 3-4 weeks ago. Nice construction, obviously, very nice. And we can tell by the survey and inspection we did and the report, we produced an inspection report for this client, that the design was not on paper before it was installed. So therefore, you can see there's not much logic to the electrical design. One, there are not enough distribution boards installed. And bear in mind, this hotel has already been plastered, so all the pipes are in and everything. Number one, there are not enough distribution boards for this hotel. Number two, the location of the distribution boards are incorrect or are not optimum. What do I mean by that? For example, there's a long corridor and the distribution board is right at the end of the corridor, which means to serve the hotel room that is all the way down the corridor, you have to pull a very, very long length of cable. It will still work, but in future, if there's any issue with the cable, pulling that cable out is going to be a total nightmare, if not impossible. So we always try to put the distribution board halfway along the corridor to serve, the left-hand side of the hotel and then the right-hand side of the hotel, nice and uniform. And also voltage drop. If you've been a long-time subscriber, you will know that some time ago I did a video, maybe a couple of years now, where I said copy and paste is not the way to go. We had another building where a distribution board was installed in the place and the cable was so long that the sockets did not work in some of the rooms. Why? Because the length was too long and the voltage was dropped, too much voltage drop. Okay, so all these are our considerations that we take into account when we are designing. The location of the distribution board, the size of the distribution board. We don't want to double up on our MCBs if we can help it. Also, there are some buildings, a lot of times, some houses we go to where we find that not enough sockets. I don't know why. Sometimes we have this issue where some electricians do not install enough sockets. The installation of the sockets, extra socket points, is not really that expensive. Not really that expensive. So I'd rather you have enough sockets, you have enough sockets and not have to use extension leads when you finally move in, because that makes the house messy, especially in the living room. We've been to homes recently where a typical bedroom, there are no sockets on the left and right hand side of the bed, which is standard, because if you have a double bed, each person, husband and wife or whatever, wants to charge their phone on either side of the bed, or have a table lamp or whatever. So the sockets on the sides of the bed should be standard. But we've been to some homes where it's been missed for whatever reason. Another reason why design is important before you construct is, especially if you want to install a solar system and other equipment, you must have an electrical room. You must have an electrical room where you're going to keep your batteries, your inverters, and everything else. We've been to a home a couple of weeks ago where this wasn't planned and it was all kind of shoved in at the last minute. And the room is far too small. The room is far too small for the batteries, for the inverter. Yeah, you haven't got the suitable distances for maintenance. Now, let me tell you about maintenance. When we design the room layout, we consider, okay, I've got a distribution board here. Do I have, let's say, 800 millimeters in front of the distribution board, 1 meter ideally, to maintain it? Okay, that is all part of design, maintenance and access. Because if you don't have enough maintenance and access, then you are increasing your risk of having a failure. You're increasing your risk of somebody doing work in there and being injured if something goes wrong. So maintenance and access is very important. And these are all issues that we find in homes because there has been a lack of design up front. All right, so this is why we kind of stress on that. Sort out your design before you build. Okay. Now here at AsherGad, we sort of offer two services. We have what we call an infrastructure design and a fit out design. The infrastructure design is where we give you three items. We do an electrical schematic for you. We do a main plant specifications, and we also do a detailed electrical layout of your electrical room. And if you've not seen a schematic before, you don't know what I mean, because I know that my customers in America or in Canada, the terminologies between UK and US or Ghana, sometimes it's a bit confusing. An electrical schematic is basically like a map. It's a map that is showing the electrician how all the main electrical plant items connect together. When the power comes in from the pole outside, how does it enter the property? Where is the meter? How does it connect to the changeovers? Do we have an AVR? Where does the AVR connect to? Do we have an inverter? Are we going to put in a 110 transformer? It is a roadmap. It's a map. I'll try and put an example on your screen that shows the electrician that this cable connects here, that cable connects here, to give you what you want. Remember that before we even do all that design, we would have already sat down with you, had a phone conversation, video call, whatever it may be, to understand what you want in your home. Do you want a solar system? Do you want a backup generator connection? Do you want your home to be able to be supported from any one of the three phases if one of them fails? Do you want automatic or manual changeovers? And there are pros and cons to both of them, and it impacts the design spatially. We sit down with you, have a chat with you, produce you the infrastructure design, which is your electrical schematic, the layout of the electrical room, considering access and maintenance, and ventilation, etc., etc. Okay, then we write you a specification for all the items that are going in the room, all the main items, your 110 transformer, you know, your solar system inverter, all the right ratings of the generators to support your home. This is very important. That's an infrastructure design. Then we also have a fit out design. There are some occasions where we've had some customers who want us to design the whole job. They want the infrastructure design, but they also want the fit out design. And the fit out design is basically where we simply design. We need to have an electronic version of your drawings. We lay out all the sockets, all the light positions, the light switches, the air conditioning unit locations, the switches of the air conditioning, the fan regulators, you know, all the electrical accessories, if you like. We put it on the drawings for you. In addition, we also do something called a power distribution, which is the distribution board schedule. We actually schedule it out. So you have a distribution board. Imagine you have a 12-way, 3-phase distribution board. We tell you what is on each circuit in the design, so that the electrician does exactly what is on the design. He knows what he's doing, and he labels the distribution board as well when the installation is complete. So these are two packages that we do at AsherGad: the infrastructure design and the fit out design. Two separate packages, or we can do both also for you if that's what you want. Okay, but before we go any further, let's just go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Are you looking to build your dream home in Ghana, or are you building already? Would you benefit from regular site visits to monitor your building and receive regular progress reports? Well, if that's the case, and that's you, look no further. AsherGad Consultancy at your service. We offer the following services: electrical design, construction monitoring inspections, site progress reports, consultation for all items MEP, witnessing of testing and commissioning, periodic snagging, vetting of specialist subcontractors. We also report site activities to you to hopefully help you spend your money efficiently, and much, much more. Get in contact for your building needs. Details on the screen. AsherGad Consultancy, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Hi guys, welcome back. So a couple of other examples as to why having a design is important. So we went to a house where I think it's been built for quite some time, but their water pumps and their motors are burning out very quickly, and it's difficult to determine why. They keep on having to replace the water pumps and other items in the house. Now, from our surveys, measurements, and testing, we realized that they've installed a 110 transformer to give them 110 and 220 in the entire home. But that 110 transformer, remember, America operates at 110 60 hertz. 110 60 hertz. Ghana is 220 50 hertz. Okay. So whilst the transformer can change the Ghana system from the 220 to the 110, it's not, most of the transformers are not changing the frequency. So for this particular client, he had one of these sort of universal sockets where he had 110 and 220. But what he didn't realize is that his items that were running at 220 were running at 60 hertz. And so meaning they were running faster than they were supposed to be. So if a motor or a pump, okay, and it's working at full load and it's running faster than it's supposed to be because the frequency of the supply is faster, then what's going to happen is it's going to overheat, overload, it's going to burn out quicker, which means you're going to spend your money quicker because you're going to have to replace it. Okay, so it's very important. If the design was done properly, you would have known that we would have a 110 60 hertz socket separate, and we have a 220 50 hertz socket separate. We have two sockets in any location that he wants. Separate 110 at 60 hertz for the American system, and a separate 220 socket at 50 hertz for the Ghanaian system, to avoid any issues. Unless of course you can get one of those transformers that is also a frequency converter. It would downgrade the voltage to 110 as well as increase the frequency to 60 hertz. If you can get one of those, I rarely see them in Ghana. Maybe you can get it from outside. Then that's fine. Then perhaps using a universal socket in that scenario should be okay. So please be careful on that. Okay, so that's one thing that we picked up, all because of a lack of design. These things are important. Okay, design is very important. You know, mechanical and electrical design is just like you have an architect who designs the home, and then the builder or the mason, the builder, who builds it. You have the electrical designer who designs the electrical systems for the home. Then you have the electrician who installs it. Same deal, same thing. We have another client who wants solar 110, wants a 220, wants a connection for a generator just in case in the future. But unfortunately, again, this is a thought that came to him later on. The house is already built. In surveying the whole home or the drawings, he hasn't really got a room suitable enough for an electrical room inside the building, based on the stage he is at. We could have fitted it in by breaking some walls, but he just didn't really like the idea of breaking walls that he had constructed. Now, the good thing, because he had a big plot, about 2.5 plots, and he had plans for other buildings, the solution there was we designed and built an electrical switch room, or if you like, an energy center, a room that was outside of the main house, and we simply run the cables to and from the electrical room. So that's another idea. If you've already built your house, or you've got to a stage where you didn't allow for an electrical room, but you want all these items, it's not too late. We can look at the electrical plans. If you've got a garage, we can probably take some of the garage and put the electrical room there. If that's not possible, we can build it. We can design an electrical room which is outside the main house and still wire it in. So it's all possible to do. Lastly, let me just talk more about the fit out. Lighting design. AsherGad do lighting design as well. We do have some clients who have come to us for lighting design, and it's very important, it's very useful for you to visualize and see what your home will look like, both outside and inside, but in particular inside. What type of colors, what type of paint are you going to use? What's the color of your floor finish? Yeah, what's the color of your ceiling? What type of light are you going to install? We can model all that for you with our software and give you 3D simulations so you can see what your home internally will look like in the day and in the night. And that has been very useful for a couple of customers recently. All right, we're sharing some images on your screen. I think I'll do a separate video on the importance of lighting design, to understand the level of light you're going to get into your home, and also to understand the interaction with your interior design as well. The color of curtains you select, the walls, the ceiling, the floors. We will do a separate video on lighting design, but we do have that service in-house as well. In addition to what I've said already, laying out the sockets, the light switches, and all the accessories, the fan regulators, etc., etc. And we work with you. That's the most important. It's a consultancy, so we work with you to give you what you want. Okay, so typically we'd have a number of meetings with you. There's a first briefing meeting about what you want. Then once we get going with the work, then we'll probably have another session midway throughout the design process, and have one towards the end where we actually do a presentation. We show you the design and explain the design to you in layman's terms, so you understand exactly what you're getting before we issue the package to you. And as you know, having lived in Ghana now for over 3 years, it takes a while to find good artisans. It takes a while to find good artisans, but we thank the Most High. We have three, I can say three solid, very good electricians that, you know, we're happy to recommend to do the install at any point in time. A very good plumber, you know. I said this in the previous video. Even outside of services, you know, POP, painting, what have you, carpenter, kitchen cabinet fitter, interior carpenter, what have you. We have good guys who really have been doing a very decent and a very good job with very good feedback in recent times. So if you need any such artisan, you know who to contact to get their details. All right. Even windows. There's a guy, a client. I recommended one of our windows fabricators to him recently and did an excellent job. Excellent feedback. This was a 50 bedroom hotel. Mr. Pia windows was great. Sliding windows, openable window, what have you. He was really good. All right. Anyway, so this video is all about the importance of electrical design or electrical designs in homes. You've heard about what we mean by the infrastructure design pack, which is your schematic, which is your electrical room layout and your main plan specifications, so the electrician knows exactly what to order and the size and the correct ratings to order. So that is your infrastructure design. Then you have your fit out design, which is all your lighting layouts, your socket layouts, you know, your fan regulators, air conditioning, etc. You know, so you have those two packages which form a complete design. And if you want a lighting design, a lighting simulation to visualize what your home will look like, we can do that for you as well. And it's really good to see what it's going to look like, plan, this is what you want, and then to obviously build it and bring it into reality. So I hope that was useful, guys. I said it was short, but it looks like it's another 20-minute video. Anyway, you know what to do. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so that you always be aware when Asher and Gad upload a new and educational video for your viewing pleasure. So from Gad, it's Kemis here, and from me, guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.